uh, with all three cemeteries. That's something that you need to know when the time comes, or I will.
For sure.
So,
yeah, and then having some sense of where you guys want to be.
What?
Yeah. The Parmenters was 1784. 1784, there's a grave here from...
One of the children of the Parment family who died early that were here. I'd forgotten that, but there was something like that.
1784?
Isn't that amazing?
Huh.
See, Dean died first, and Mother and Dad were real short of money, so they said that we could have some plots and put our name underneath.
What?
Dean died first, and Mom and Dad were real short of money, so they said we could use some of their plots, and our name went under Bremen, so it ends on the top. I'd forgotten about that. Didn't you say Draper?
Something.
I forgot about that. See that Florella is 45 she died. Huh. I was saying we didn't know her. Okay. So Mom was born in 1899 and Grandpa Stewart was born in 1900. Dad was born in 1902. It was 3 years. Well, I was just thinking that they didn't put Russell Dean Annis. His middle name was Dean, like his cousin. And I guess Mother, he always went by Russell D. Annis, so I guess Mother chose to do it that way. But his name was Dean, like his cousin. So Aunt Floss died not too long before I was 14. 45. I couldn't tell when I last died, but I had forgotten kind of that she was on the top of all this. And that's interesting. You see something different whenever you're kind of by and look at it. I think one of these are Draper. And another part of the and one year I tried to find the head of the cemetery to ask him where it was, to take me to it so I could go to it.
Right.
I remember visiting him as a child, and he had a long white beard that came way down to here. And he was some kind of a colonel in the army of the, I don't know what war. But I was very impressed. It is kind of amazing thing. Huh? Oh, welcome. But I had forgotten that there were graves here in the 1700s. I just remember that they were babies that had died young. I think they're all dead too.
And who's Mother? Mother
I
from
don't remember that. Oh, this is Draper. I was crazy. Yeah, Draper. I remember. And I thought these were babies. 89 to 90. How old were they then? 7? Huh?
Oh, no, 96. Yeah, yeah, 7.
Yeah. And this one, 84 to 96.
Wow, what they both trying to say here?
Well, I think I recall Mother saying something about, children didn't live long in those days. There was babies and stuff like that. 84 to 90.
Well, that sounds like they got hit with some kind of
This is 12.
like
12-year-old. Oh, they both died in 96.
right.
Oh, wow. Looks like a flu or
Yeah, something there.
influenza. And isn't that funny? It just says mother. I remember those two, and I don't remember that one saying mother. That seems strange. Okay, well, I guess that's it. What's here. And I don't know why. It's funny, but I can't emphasize. I'm not an emotional person too much, but I am really emotionally involved with this.
Well, good.
It's funny. It's funny. I kept thinking I was staying home for 6 months.
When you cried leaving, when you cried with when the cops stopped you, was it leaving the grave or going through the grave?
It was when we were living in Governor Francis, and you children were in school, and I just came over to visit the grave, and I was on my way over.
Were you having a tough time anyway, or was it just like you were getting emotional?
Now that you're saying that, when he died, oh, Mother was living at Rushton Drive. Sure, no, I was coming over from Rushton Drive because I was thinking I was coming from Providence. I wasn't coming from Connecticut or New Hampshire, but it was when Dad died that I was coming over here. Yeah, because I don't recall any big. When I came from Governor Francis, it was definitely when he died and when I was coming from with Mother at Rushton Drive. Thanks for coming, bringing me here today. It's meaningful for me.
For me too.
Yeah. It really, it's funny because I didn't realize that I would get such a satisfaction from it when I was debating shouldn't we, or should we go somewhere else. I hadn't realized that I would get so much out of this, but I really am. So
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm ready to move on if you are. I do too, but we can do I'm saying, see, I didn't forget your dad. I didn't forget your mom. Hey, Dean, I remembered you too, even though you didn't get to come to our wedding. They never got over that they hadn't come to our wedding because I was kind of like their child. They didn't have any children. And when we got married, we said they needed a family. And because I wanted to have Marge down in Viv, and Dad's going to come all the way to New Jersey to balance it off. Uncle Wilford and Aunt Dorothy came because they were his godparents, and because that way he'd have grandparents, his father, mother, and grandmother. And Mary and Dean never understood that. They were right here. We had a wedding in the church, and they. But there were a lot of other people. Like Eddie and Denny, we were closer to than Mary and Dean in a way. But they didn't. I don't know if they ever understood. But it was just the way we had to do it. Though we didn't have the money, we didn't have the time. But I just wanted in that white bag I might have if I didn't take them out. Hope I didn't. Anyway.
So where did you get married?
Huh?
Where did you get married?
Washington Park Church right there in Providence. Dad just came home for Christmas. He was in Chicago, and we just had Christmas together by him coming home and us driving out for our honeymoon. And nobody had any money, and so it was just a matter of our decision. Just have somebody might get married in the school, and just had to visit family. And we were satisfied that way.
What were you saying about different people? Different people.
Well, I think like this. Maybe I could just pick up on this. I can see the Germans with all their way their life was around the family and home and the father figure, and I could see the British with the Queen and the armies going all over, taking care of people no matter what their color, all over the place, and set up in this Anglican church way of thinking. And then I could see the Americans with their lipstick and cosmetics and Hollywood and what's this way all the Germans looked at them, my German neighbors, when they talked. And so I could just see these three different, completely different setups, and yet they all had their families and their countries and their beliefs and their religions. Now do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I've not understood.
Well, I think I didn't. Coming from the family, I did. I was trying to work my way out of the funny way of thinking.
What funny way of thinking?
I guess it was me having three sisters, maybe, that I was trying to pull together the three of us. I don't know. I don't really know. All I know is it was amazingly therapeutic for me, the 8 years in Germany and coming out and all those years in the British church. I don't know why. I can't give you all the reasons.
Yeah, but see, the thing that you talk about that, and I'm sure it must have made a dent on me, because the thing that I identify as being wrong, for instance, with the evangelicals or the different religious things that are, all of them that are going on right now, is that they seem to concentrate on one or the other of the Trinity, rather than.
But don't they all really? Most of them. Like, just think of all the ones in Houston that are all into Jesus. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I just said.
And
it's that they concentrate too much on one
but
of
the Roman Catholics are all too much into Mother Mary.
Well, I think they did use it, but that's not even a part of the Trinity.
It's too much into the father figure, you know. Yeah. But I know what you're saying.
I mean, and I'm the only one I've ever heard talk about that. So it must have, your Trinity stuff must have done. I must have heard it.
Yeah.
Because it does seem to me.
Trinity all the time in church. It's just that experience for me helped me to see how it applied to life, kind of, you know.
Yeah. But also, like some of the like the evangelical folks that tried to get me when I went to California to man, was that a crazy thing.
Really?
But they were all into the Holy Spirit part of that.
Oh yeah, the Holy Spirit is definitely.
And they used this Holy Spirit thing to fake out, they were like, oh, if you don't speak in tongues, you're not full of the Holy Spirit, and that's the most important thing, or something,
Yeah,
and so then I would sort of see people starting to go blah 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 blah, to act like they were speaking in tongues or something.
That's a good way of thinking of it right now. The way we're talking is, it seems to me like it always kind of really griped at with all the people who got the Jesus thing in kind of a cheap way, or in ways that there was a period of the 60s, I think, everything was a Jesus thing that drove Dad crazy, because he was used to having it within the confines of the church and the ritual. And but there was definitely a whole thing with the Holy Spirit too, of people who religiously just seemed to get way out of whack. And I always associate Germany with Hitler and the father thing getting out of whack. You know what I mean? Anyway, this is interesting talking to you, because a lot of people have no idea what I'm talking about if I was trying to talk like this. I didn't realize I have such a challenge going up here. It makes me realize that I'm not as in good walking condition as I have been. I'm going to have to be very careful.
Well, maybe you get a chance to be concerned about yourself rather than Lori.
Oh no. that fall really woke me up, and it's something that's
I'm saying, maybe now, because Lori's not here, maybe you can think of yourself walking rather than thinking of her walking.
I'm not sure I know what you're saying. I just know that this has come on this past year since that she's been in bed, and it really doesn't have anything to do with Lori, but I am able to think, and if I don't think, I fall on my face and I cannot get up, and that lesson taught me. But what worries me a little bit, I'll just tell you, I wouldn't tell Dad and Lori because they're always getting so anxious, is that this does seem progressive. It doesn't seem to be slowing down.
What?
What's happening to me with balance and being able to get around. And I don't dwell on it, and I think positive, but it does concern me a little in that instead of like a new doctor or a new medicine or losing weight, I'm having the feeling in the back of my head this isn't making a difference. Whatever's happening to me is slowly continuing to happen. And I want to dwell on it today or even this vacation, but sometime I need to think about the future and, you know, kind of prepare for what.
What, you're being dizzy? What do you mean?
No, it isn't dizzy, it's balance. And the thing is, and I shouldn't think about it or tell you, but the thing is, I'm just so not wanting to give me an MRI to find out what's going on. And Dr. Rosenthal definitely told me, because I was so adamant about it, and he was so adamant about it, that it's my arthritis is causing me to be off balance. Because I was afraid that I was something neurological.
Right.
And he said, no, that's your arthritis. And he was very definite about it. So that made me feel better for a while. And I still don't think it's neurological, but it still bothers me that it seems to be getting worse, and that I care for Lori. Not so much Dad. Dad and I both are getting our infirmities and we're helping each other and do the best we can. But it's caring for Lori that worries me a little bit. But I've learned with all the wonderful help we've had that you can, if the need is there, Medicare will help you bring people in to fill your needs. They really have been very good. So I'm not overly worried. I'm just kind of chatting with you because we don't get a chance to chat very often, and we got started. I relax with you and I talk with you like I don't with anybody else. I couldn't talk with Dad the way I talk with you, although I'm doing much better, but he gets too worried and too antsy. But I can talk with you in that I think that you won't overreact or over-worry about it, I hope.
I don't hear anything to worry about. Okay, you're losing your balance.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
good. That's exactly what I need you to say. You don't have anything to worry about. Then I feel like I can relax and talk to you and not feel like Betty does that with me all the time. She'll say, Jean Scahoozy died yesterday. Oh, I hope that didn't make you depressed. She'll be afraid. She told me bad news. It's going to depress. It makes me laugh when I think about it. But we do have a good venting with each other to just kind of vent, and it makes us feel better when we share our bad news. She says something like that just recently, it makes me kind of smile. Now, I'm going to have to ask you to take this. Would you mind? This is just a little more. I think I'm going to be looking for a heartier lunch than I was earlier. I'm getting hungry. That's probably good. You can have a good lunch, go someplace anywhere you want, and get a good meal under our belt. I think we maybe both ready. We started so early and didn't eat that much. Thank you.
I gotta pee.
Me too. Go ahead. I'm not gonna.
I know. I'm not gonna do it here.
I gotta too.